3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to Grounds After Rounds.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Welcome, folks, to Grounds After Rounds.
I'm your
On the
host, Jack
creek.
Ryan. No, wait, you're Jack Ryan.
I'm Eric Ryan. You're Jack Hoyt.
Jacoip.
Ooh, that would have been a cool name.
Jacoip.
I can't believe you didn't name Everett Jack.
You know, it was on the list.
Was it?
No.
No.
Well, if the list was like
Infinitely long.
it wasn't the top 500.
Rocky 500.
Do you remember the episode of The Simpsons where, what was it? I think it was one of like the Halloween episodes, and Bart got caught in like this haunted house, and there were all these different doors, but they had Roman numerals.
Okay.
And Bart's like, I don't know Roman numerals, and he's like, wait a second. And I think it was he needed to find door number 7.
Okay.
Right. And so he's looking at all the doors and all Roman numerals. He's like, crap. He's like, wait a second, I can figure this out. Rocky 5 plus Rocky 2 equals Rocky 7, Adrian's Revenge.
I love how I turned it into horror.
Yeah, right?
Horror, Adrian's Revenge. She's a zombie back from the dead.
Right. So, cool. Anyway, happy Wednesday.
And happy birthday, Scary Mary.
Oh, today's Scary Mary.
And it's actually, did you see the picture I posted on Sugarwad for her? It's from the Halloween when
yeah,
it was during Halloween.
Perfect.
And she dresses the zombie.
Scary Mary.
Yeah. You're not Scary Mary. You're beautiful. You are 20 years, the 40th anniversary of her 20th birthday. Is that accurate? Did I do that math right? Either way, I love how she has embraced this birthday.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna jump to my gratitude. Mary's my gratitude
Cool.
for this week, and the reason being is she is turning 60 this year. And for the longest time, I would be in the same camp as her, where 60 was old in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's when my grandfather died. He had a heart attack at 60.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 5 years old, I think.
Yeah.
And so, right, like that's old. It's so not old. Like if somebody walked in and was looking into class, and it's not about looks. We don't comment on people's bodies or, aesthetics or physique. But Mary, I have to tell you, if somebody walked into the gym and was like, oh, look at this. And they were like, well, she looks like she's in her 40s.
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, and maybe that, like, it's not,
Yeah.
and she moves better than people that I graduated from high school from, who I've seen, and I'm like, oh God, you're dying.
Can we argue that some of the people that we have in here that are in their 60s move better than some of the people that are in here than in their 30s and 40s?
Yes.
And it's just,
so I love that she has acknowledged that there was some fear and anxiety and frustration around it, but then in her way,
there's all this BS baggage around.
In
60.
her way, said, you know what, F that, and just leaned into it and has made it so much fun. And watching her and Kenna over the Murph weekend, and just how fun they made their birthdays this year, and how fun Mary is making it. I have spent almost 20 years being married to Nicole, and she successfully at least made me appreciate birthdays. But I think this was sort of the next little pushover. So thanks, Mary.
Yeah.
Happy freaking birthday.
Do you think Mary?
You are awesome.
Do you think like Kenna, Mary will be drunk by like 10 a.m. on her birthday?
No, I think she maybe is working today because it's a Wednesday.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Kenna was so funny. That was hilarious. And Luis was even funny. My job is to drive and make sure she gets home. My job is to drive and make sure she gets home into bed. My job is to drive. Like that, just kept saying.
Oh my God. I'll tell you, it was so funny when we did that workout for Mary on Saturday.
Yeah.
Because I give Mary a hard time, but she knows like that's our the way we give each other a hard time. And
like your text back to her today,
right? And there's not really a line. Like we have like for us, like we know, like I think we have an idea of like where the line is, but we put like our line is all the way over here while everyone else's is over here.
Gotcha.
And so anyway, like everyone's getting ready to do the workout. I was like, all right, guys, remember, we're doing this for Mary. We don't know how much time she has left. And like, she's like, I hate you. And then, and she gives it right back easily. But what threw me off was we were doing it on Saturday and we're getting ready to get started. And Mary asked some question about the workout that that you're just kind of like, really, Mary? You should, like, really? And Brian last year, he goes, they say the mind goes first.
Oh, Mr.
Oh my God.
Lounsbury,
And like everyone, like,
poking the lion.
right? You lose it because, like, of all people, like Brian. And he's like, I felt really guilty about it
Yeah.
later. It's like, of course he did. Of course he did. But she could not stop laughing because it's like, oh, Brian, right out of left
really
field.
funny.
So that was fun. Happy birthday, May.
Happy birthday, Mary.
Hey, May Fate.
Heck yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, this is gonna be a quicker episode. Like I said, I feel like this could potentially turn into a two-parter.
It could
'Cause
be,
feel like
we could
it's
spend, maybe
Yeah.
we'll see where this goes and then what we have to leave undiscussed.
Yeah.
That maybe that's the next part. So maybe this is the beginning of a 3-part series.
Wow. Cool. So this we kind of went into, like, we came up with 3 goals that we hear people walk into the gym with.
Yes.
Very, like, not everyone has the same goals, but we usually hear these same things.
Yeah,
from
like it
beginners.
could almost be titled like, I want to do CrossFit because I want to ...
Fill in the blank. Yeah.
And everyone has their own journeys and their own desires, but I would agree that these 3 are, especially the first 2, are kind of by far make up 70 to 80% of the things people say they want to do.
Yeah.
The third one is sort of, if I've been doing it a while,
Yeah.
it's kind of the first
Kind of figure out
thing
the thing
that
that's-
people want to be able to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I think because they revert back to, like, the Superfit test in elementary school.
Oh, true.
So
It's also a very functional human thing to be able to do. So give them to us. So what is it? I just joined. I want to join your gym. I think it's way too expensive. I don't know what I'm paying for. That's usually the first obstacle, not the first desired goal.
right.
And so, because we're so used to paying $15 a month for renting somebody's equipment.
And not using it.
Yeah. You don't realize you actually don't come here for fitness. You come here for love. You come here for coaching. You come here for friendship. You come here for being seen.
We still need a pizza bar, but yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So anyway, so what's number 1? So I want to join CrossFit and I want to
Lose weight.
Oh, excellent. I want to join CrossFit. I want to join your gym because I want to
Get stronger.
I've been doing this CrossFit thing for a couple months. And you know what I really want to do? I want to be able to do a
pull up.
There you go, folks. Top 3, without doubt. Not quantified, but if you needed us to, we could. I could show you records or results of people's,
I feel like we've done something about
their first, like, intake.
Is that a HIPAA violation?
No, because it's not medical.
Okay.
But it might just
could be, actually.
It's just professionally inappropriate. But lose weight, get stronger, and then I want to be able to do a pull-up.
Do a pull-up.
And so, as you so eloquently and I think insightfully recognized, my first question is always with the lose weight. Well, what does that mean?
Right.
Right? Like, what do you mean when you say you want to lose weight? Because it's sort of like, I was talking to Nicole about something recently, and she made a good comment of, it's sort of like prayer. So I'm praying that Joshie pitches this game. He's done for the high school season. But I'm praying to God that he pitches a great game and he strikes everybody out and I'm praying that he pitches a great game. So he gets up there and he pitches the first pitch and it's a home run. He gets up there and he pitches the second pitch, it's a home run. He gets a couple strikeouts, blah, 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 and they get out of the inning, right? And then,
sorry, PTSD. I just went right back to like when I pitched against Shady Side in 5th grade.
But so he pitches maybe 4 or 5 innings, then they pull him out, whatever. And the team loses because it was a really good team, whatever. But I look over and there's Josh on the sideline in the dugout laughing and joking and playing with everything. You know what I mean? Like, and he's on the varsity team and he's having a great time. We get in the car and I'm like, oof, rough game. And he goes, yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was all right. Yeah. The team was hilarious. We're going to go out for pizza afterwards. Can I have $20?
Is it a high school team?
Right. What do you mean? Why?
Oh, it's like, that's like it's totally little league conversation, right? Like
sort of, but what I mean is like, right. Like, what did I actually pray for? What did I ask for? Well, specifically, literally, I asked for him to have a good game. What was I really asking for? Please let people love my son as much as I love him. Please let him be happy. Please let him feel worthy. Please let him experience life with a luminous glow in his spirit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what I was asking for.
Yeah.
And that's what they get. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't always know what the right thing I'm asking for is. the universe will give us what we want or what we need, maybe not what we want.
Right.
And that's sort of, I feel like the lose weight thing. Society has said, this is what you're supposed to look like. This is how much you're supposed to weigh. That BMI index is a bunch of crap. Like, it's not accurate because I am fat, folks. I am an obese male of 44 years old. I'm an obese male.
Yeah.
And so
I have this great program. It's called CrossFit.
Yeah.
You wanna come do it? It'll be
can
great
I
for
lose
you.
some weight? But like, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's a
Yeah.
number on the scale that is completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
I want to fit into the jeans that I used to wear when I was 19. Okay. A, they're out of style. And B, are you sure that's what you really are
Acid wash is
asking?
coming back.
Is that what you're asking for? I want to be able to bend over and pick up my grandkids and run around in my backyard and not feel like my heart is going to come out of my chest. Oh, okay. Now
we go.
that's something I can look at.
Yeah.
I would offer to you that along the way of, if you got to that goal, you may not be the same body composition that you were when you started.
Yeah.
And the number that is on the scale might be lower. It might also be higher. And I would offer that if you're squatting well and lifting well and moving well, you're probably not going to fit into the jeans you fit into when you were 19 because your legs are going to be so strong. Your butt's going to be a lot bigger and it's going to look awesome. And maybe your waist is too skinny, so the jeans won't fit around your waist because you're going to need a belt to keep them from falling down, but they're not going to fit over your magnificently powerful quads and gluteus maximus. So,
derriere.
right? So again,
Yeah.
it is a completely arbitrary and inaccurate measure of what people are asking for, but I totally appreciate it because I'm guilty,
We all
right?
do it.
Like I'm always, but I've used it. It is one data point amongst like 50 data points for me to know.
It's like, if you're here,
at
this is where these
at
other
175 pounds, my knees start to hurt because my frame isn't probably at 175 pounds unless I'm at like 3% body fat or 4% body fat, and I'm taking extra supplements, and I'm doing extra recovery work, and I'm blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'm at 175 pounds because I'm looking to do Olympic weightlifting competition or a powerlifting competition or something like that. I know my window of optimal weight for what I want to be able to accomplish performance-wise in the gym, aesthetic-wise for my own will not go away ego, and just knowing that that's probably the healthiest version of me for my body and my body type. But the reality is I really don't care what it says on the scale, and things that I do to try and control it often don't work as well as, and here's the part that I like that you brought up. Okay, well then what are the behaviors, the habits that I need to establish to lose that weight? And I ask you this, what is usually the first thing people think they need to do to lose weight?
Eat less.
Eat less. Because it's calories in, calories out, right?
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, right. Because we're just a basic, perfectly designed energy burning machine, right? We have there's no waste energy happening. And I mean, I know exactly what my that little package that told me like this thing is actually a calorie and how like that's exactly perfectly calibrated
100%
within less than a 1% degree of error.
You guys picking up on the
sarcasm?
We're laying on pretty thick here.
It's a bunch of shit, right? Like it's a very broad guide.
Yeah. So immediately the thought is like, if I join this gym, I'm going to come work out really hard and eat a lot less, and I'm just going to melt into
away.
the human that I want to be.
Exactly. CrossFit athletes.
Trust me, it was that easy.
Most CrossFit athletes that are at the high elite level are eating anywhere between 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day.
Yep.
Most normal CrossFit athletes that work out here are probably underfed. They're probably underfed in the things that they should be eating. They're overfed in high calorie, sugar, empty calorie, alcohol, booze, like things that. So the reality is you don't need to eat less. You actually need to eat more of the things that are going to facilitate the real goal that you're asking for.
Yes. To
feel better, to sleep better, to have less joint pain. And so in a sense, when you want to lose weight, the first thing you should do is just eat a vegetable at every single meal.
It's a great
The
start.
first time you eat in the morning, eat a vegetable. When you eat in the middle of the day, eat a vegetable. When you eat at night, eat a vegetable. Add a vegetable. And when you start, just one, right? And not a fruit, eat a vegetable.
Vegetable.
And then fill a whole plate of vegetables in the morning, in the middle of the day, in the afternoon. What you're going to find is you're not going to have any room in your stomach to eat some of that other stuff.
Yeah.
And you may actually start to like vegetables. Now, if you smother them with butter, that's okay. You just have to not eat the cheese and the other like
Right.
carbohydrates with it. And not that carbohydrates are bad.
No.
We're not vilifying any food groups.
Uh-uh.
It's just the idea of, wait, you mean I have to eat more to lose weight? Yes. And you might not actually lose any weight, but you may look in the mirror and go, holy crap.
Is that an ab?
Is that an ab? I have abs.
I have an ab.
And what you're going to find is you don't get the abs in the gym. You already have the abs.
They're there.
You got to get them in the kitchen.
Kitchen.
That's the choices. And so start with just add a vegetable every meal. I'm going to eat this ice cream. If you're going to eat ice cream, you have to eat a plate of broccoli before you eat the ice cream.
That's it's
Right?
funny. Like
You might all of a
as
sudden-
silly as that sounds, it's like
Nah, you know what? I really
because
don't.
you may
I really don't want the ice cream.
I don't
then.
really want the ice cream, but it's like it's one of the things in that book I'm reading too. It's like, look, if there's certain things that you want, there are going to be certain rules that you have to follow. It's not free.
Yeah.
And so like, and it can be like, it sounds harsh. Like, look, eat that damn broccoli and then you get the ice cream,
You get the ice cream.
which is like talking to a toddler, right? But it's like if you're trying to get to where you want to go, like you got to set these.
And it's a trick, right?
Yeah.
It is a 100%. We are creating a mental trick for ourselves to change a behavior that we think is hardwired into us.
Yeah.
It's not hardwired in. It's just you've done it so many times, right? At the end of the hard day, I always pour myself the drink, right? I don't. But you know what I mean? Like that idea of, oh, well, no, that's what I do. It's like, well, no, that's just a habit that you've developed. So at the end of the day, if you've had a really hard day, I do a banded mobility routine for 10 minutes. Right? Like, why is that any different than the drink? It's going to feel ridiculous, but it's like, okay, fine. You get to have the drink, but you have to do the banded mobility routine before you have the end of the day drink.
Yeah.
On Fridays, we always go out to eat. Okay. Why? Well, it's just because that's the habit we've gotten into.
It's the ritual.
So instead, what happens is at 2:00, we go to the grocery store and we buy what we want to make for Friday dinner instead of the cheesesteak. So that's with the boys, what we've started to do because we wanted to eat out less. I buy cool rolls at the store. I buy the chip steak. I buy the cheese and go home
Can I
and
come over for dinner Friday.
on Fridays. But sometimes it's tacos. Sometimes it's cheesesteaks. Sometimes Joshy wanted to make or Nicole made something one night. I can't remember what it was. But he wanted to make dumplings, Chinese little dumplings. Ooh. Yeah. And so we haven't done that yet, but she made something else. She made like a Thai chicken peanut wrap thing one time. So yeah. So like that's lose weight is a easy, like it's easy. It's I'm unhappy with who I am right now. If I lose weight, I will be happy.
Then I'll be happy.
And so the follow-on question when somebody says, well, what do you really want? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
And
weight?
then it starts to give insight into like,
because it'll be like, what does that mean? Well, I weigh, 220. I want to be 195.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what does 195 mean?
Good. Right. Like, we're never going to let you off the hook. And what that starts to drive is, okay, well, what behavior do you actually have to change? Okay. Well, if I have to change behavior, then what is the first, smallest, most repeatable action you can do to start to establish that behavior into habit? And that's James Clear's stuff. That's the atomic habit move. So, but yeah, I like that. First one, lose weight. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Eric, I want to get stronger. Can I come to your beasts class? Because they look really freaking strong.
They're so strong. They're so strong. So that's another get stronger. What does stronger mean? Like we can raise
stronger than a toddler?
Stronger, right?
Stronger than Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Right?
He's kind of old now. Like, I don't think he's not really that strong anymore.
I know you see that person over there that's like, deadlifting 300 pounds. is that stronger? Because
Yeah.
they've also been here for like 6 years.
And also, right?
Like-
and, I mean, Mary with her 300-pound deadlift. I don't
Yeah.
know, Mary, if you do have 300-pound deadlift, but right, like that would be
That's close.
But what are we talking about? Like,
Yeah.
what does strong mean to you?
Yeah.
Just like the losing weight, 9 times out of 10 was, well, it just hurts when I get out of bed,
Oh, that's a good start.
right? Like
Yeah.
I was picking up these boxes for my mother the other day, and I can't get stuff over my head.
I can't pick up that. I can't carry in the groceries without throwing my back out.
Right. I read in US News, or I read on the New York Times that I heard resistance training is good for my bones. And I don't want to, my mother is osteoporosis. Yeah. And she just, it hurts, or arthritis runs in my family. And I heard that, strength training and weight training is good for my joints,
Right.
but my joints really hurt. And so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, newsflash, folks, getting stronger is not about lifting more weight. Just like losing weight is not about eating less, getting stronger is not about lifting more.
It's
mechanics.
Yeah.
It's a mechanics question.
Yeah.
Full range of motion, through the joint, multi-joint, consistently done well.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
Right.
If
We hear
I
that.
can squat perfectly with a PVC over my head, I bet you, and when I mean perfectly, I mean lumbar curve maintained, torso upright, full range of motion, hip crease below knee crease, below parallel, or hip below the knee, hip below parallel, weight in the heels, and I stand back up and that bar stays over the center of my gravity, stays over the center of my mass. If somebody walks in and does that, looking at them, I bet you I can go, man, he'll probably be able to put 185, 250 pounds over his head, right? Just depends on like other things. I don't know what else we're dealing with, but right, like from just the mechanics of the way the machine moves, you can go, oh yeah, they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's not the case. You're going to be like, you're fucked with a PVC pipe. Like,
I'm pretty sure was going through Ellen's head when she first saw me do a PVC pipe. She's like, "Ooh, that PVC pipe might be a little heavy for a while," right?
And it's because Eric's not strong, right? Like if we arm wrestle, I'm getting crushed. He's going to kill me. Like, but I can overhead squat more than you, but you can back squat more than me. Right. So clearly your legs are stronger than my legs.
Right.
Why can I overhead squat more than you?
You can move better, especially if we talk about that.
Exactly. My positioning, my overhead positioning is a little bit better.
Yeah.
And so, right, like that is who's stronger. Well, strength is a manifestation of power and speed. And so if I can exert power across a faster time domain or a shorter time domain, then innately by CrossFit standards, I'm stronger.
You're stronger.
And so, well, then I need to just lift more. Be like, no, I need to lift lighter weights more. No, right?
No.
Practicing crappily will get you crappy practice.
I like that good crappily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's sort of when somebody says, I want to get stronger, the very first question is, well, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Huh. Interesting.
And that's where like, I feel like we can give a much clearer answers, like the lose weight, like, okay, let's start with this one thing. So now if I say, okay, I want to get stronger, we just go through all that. It's like, well, what does stronger mean? You need to move better. Cool. How do we get you to move better? Show up to class, listen to your coach.
Yeah.
And that's where we can start going like 3 to 4 times a week. Bare minimum.
34 times a week.
It never works that way.
I know.
But yeah, but I still like it. I
You
still
should
do
say
it
4
all
to
the time.
5. Then
Right?
it would
4 to 5 times a week.
45 times
Right?
a week.
And those, so I think strength, the way you're talking to with the back squat, the overhead squat, the deadlift, whatever, that strength number is just a byproduct, just like the scale number, just like the jeans fitting is just a byproduct of this much bigger thing of just move better.
Yeah. Like, don't let yourself off the hook that, oh, it's a 20-minute AMRAP today with back squats, burpees, and shoulder to overhead. Well, I want to get those 15 back squats and I want to move really, really fast. So I'm just going to kind of short range my squat depth. Like every squat you every time you don't squat below parallel, that is a missed opportunity to get stronger through the full range of motion.
I mean, you're probably going to get really good at like
Half squats,
half squats.
right? And you're gonna get, and actually, and
But
you're gonna
I went through circuit wall the other day. The half squats aren't on like the.
oh, they're
bench
not.
strength.
They're not one of the moves.
No, they're not. It's weird.
And in reality, you're doing that at the expense of the musculature's ability to support healthy joint movement. So
Right.
half squats will make you super quad dominant. You're going to get a really strong quad. And probably about 6 months into it, your kneecap is going to start to really hurt. You may even start to feel a little bit of pain on the anterior section of your knee, like on that right at that ACL sort of, because what's happening is that quad is starting to get real big and that hamstring is like a really, really small. And then it's going to pull on that kneecap. And you're going to be like, squatting makes my knees hurt. It's because you squat like shit.
Yeah.
You don't
Not
listen
wrong.
and you don't listen to me. So
It's not wrong.
so there's that. And sorry, that was a little aggressive. So
Now you see what goes through our heads when we hear these things. It's like, here we go again.
I love everybody. I do.
Yeah.
I really, really mean that. Like, it is super fun. And I love watching the recalibration moments. That's actually my favorite part. My favorite part is two favorite parts is the first workout. We have somebody do a foundations, the 7 minutes, 7 burpees, seven wall balls, 7 burpees.
Yep.
Because I don't care who you are, about the 3 to 4 minute mark, that workout gets really freaking hard. I'm doing that. I never do that workout. That workout's miserable. But it's great. It's a great test to just see where somebody is.
Yeah.
Everybody bonks in that workout.
Mhm.
Matt Frazier would bonk in that workout because we'd make his ball 50 pounds and he'd probably have to do double presses or something. You know what I mean? But like,
you have to do burpee box jumps to a 30-inch box
to a muscle up or something
while we spray him with a fire hose.
Yeah. So I guess my point being that coming is the first step. 3 to 4 times a week, preferably 4. When you come, prioritize moving really, really well, then add intensity either with volume or load. If you spend your first 4 months doing CrossFit with only a PVC pipe and 5-pound dumbbells, but you move perfectly, I guarantee you will sweat every time. You will still be sore. And at the end of those first 3 to 4 months, you're going to move well and you are going to skyrocket past people because your mechanics have been dialed in. You developed the habit that will make you stronger. And when we actually measured something that is strength-based, you'll probably improve.
And I like the, when you were talking about like using the PVC pipe and like 5-pound plates, I think about
dumbbells.
I forget dumbbells. It was one of the articles.
Are
that was like the extra,
2.5 kilogram plates the same as 5-pound plates?
Are they? Are they?
We will test that. We have new plates.
We have new plates.
But they're in kilograms. Head exploding emoji.
But it was that if you're talking about it was one of like the extra study from the WUO plan, but it was like let's say your max squat is 300 pounds, max back squat. Treat 300 like it's 95 and treat 95 like it's 300. And that goes if you have a PVC pipe and an empty barbell.
Today is a perfect example of that.
100%.
Treat those 15, 95, 65 pound back squats like each one is a 300 pound back squat. Squeeze your butt, take the breath. I did watch it. I watched that guy. He was really eloquent in the way he expressed it.
And I feel like I think it was one of the Juggernaut strength guys. And but I think about when we go through like the deadlift progression and we have people like real slow with an empty bar holding these positions, and we even have the PVC pipe. And it's like if you're not like shaking
at that
position, then you're not giving. And
I would offer, if you're shaking at that position, why?
Right?
You don't have any load, right? Like you should be able to hold the bottom of that deadlift position for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, right? You're just hinging your butt back and bending your knees a little bit. Why are we so uncomfortable there?
That's become so difficult. But then as soon as you put 135 pounds on there, you just start ripping it.
That is an absence of strength.
Yeah.
You have lost end range of motion strength in a movement that you want to get stronger at. I think we just found the problem for your goal of get stronger. I think what we're really saying is you need to work on your patience.
Yeah.
Or let's develop a better frame of mind around why you're here. Like, what are you actually doing this for?
Because what'll happen is like there is like a raw strength that you already have that you're going to be able to kind of like muscle through these with bad technique.
Yeah.
That's setting you up for a lot of problems later. But whether it's a plateau, whether it's a bad back, whether it's a bad, so yeah, like do these little things really, really well as we talk about.
So like with lose weight, it was really easy. Eat a vegetable at every meal.
Just do that.
Start
little
that.
Thing. Just do that little thing.
Get stronger. Great. Warm up better. Meaning when we say we're going to do 10 air squats and I want them to be perfect, do all 10. Don't stand in the corner like, oh, I gotta look at this thing over here. Oh, I gotta go out to my car to get my water bottle now. You've been here for 10 minutes.
My shoes untied again.
Like, you just missed the opportunity to do 10 back squats.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
You've just given yourself the permission to not get stronger.
Yeah.
So like start with that. Just do the warm-ups well.
Yeah.
Move perfectly when fresh. And I get it. We're crickety, takes a while. Good, right? Like use the
all
movement.
the more reason.
Yeah, to use the movement to get going. And then that way, when the workout starts going, your brain and your body are in line to move well. Yeah. If it's a day where it says 3x6, step-ups. Pick a weight that is about 70 to 80% and do that weight the same across the whole way. Don't build. Don't go for a 1 rep max. Just hang out there and dial in the movement perfectly. We will lift again. Yeah.
I love it. We did that. I'll give credit to Matt yesterday. We did front squats with the beast. And he was like, and he was saying like, he's like, things are feeling off. He goes, I'm just going to pick a weight and do that we did 5x5 front squat. And like, I don't know. I was just like, yes, awesome.
He's a very
well done. Like, who cares if you find a 5 rep max today?
Yeah.
He straight up said, I feel like, he goes, front squats are really hard for me. I'm going to just pick a weight and see if I can get better at them.
Just move perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. So beautiful.
He just got stronger.
Yep. And he had to work for those, right? Like,
because
it was a lighter weight.
He's really now, right? You go a lighter weight. Now you have an excuse to make it even harder with the mechanics.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff. That's the habit, the long-term behavior change that will shift your perspective, that when you are least expecting it, you're going to go, I'm stronger.
What the heck
that just happened. And it's the same with lose weight, right?
Yeah.
Like when you stop worrying about it and actually like, I just want to fill in the blank, but not lose the weight. You'll step on the scale, be like, you haven't weighed yourself in like 6 months. You step on the scale and be like, I'm 2 pounds lighter than when I started, but wow. Like, look at that. You'll be like,
difference.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Right? That's the difference of these are arbitrary things that somewhere somebody put into our heads that these are the measures of health. They're not.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. It's a much more complicated. This would be where, then what are the measures of my health? And we can talk about it from CrossFit. We can talk about it from other standpoints. But that might be a good thing in the second part.
I think so.
I knew we'd get something.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, though. I've been here 6 months and I know the Open's coming. Eric, I would like to get my first
pull up
by the Open.
Interesting. First pull up by the Open.
Yeah. So that is actually that's actually a better goal, or at least a better delineation of the goal.
Yeah.
Because it's time bound.
Which I think was actually like, I love that you did that, because this is one of those ones that like, sometimes it's good to put like give yourself a point.
Yeah.
Because this can be so like, we said, this can be so like, I want to lose 20 pounds by my wedding. When's your wedding? 3 weeks.
I really wish you had shown up.
Maybe we do need to eat less and work out more. But how do you feel about not feeling well and looking like death?
Yeah, really, and really not enjoying your wedding. Are you also, all right with that?
Ever tried laxatives? Let's go ahead. That's your pre-workout.
I love how you did that, right? Like, wait, what? Yeah, this is going to be really unhealthy.
Yeah.
Actually, borderline dangerous.
Yeah.
You may want to to consult a doctor before we do this.
Go ahead and dump that water out, because that's just going to puff you up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it's 98 degrees outside.
Good.
Good. Yeah.
Water weight.
Yeah.
So yeah, pull up. So I like that. So the Open's coming up.
Funny.
So yeah, pull-ups, put a goal on it. Let's say the Open's 6 months away. Cool.
So let me ask you this.
Hit me.
So let's say 6 months, I lose 10, 15 extra pounds that I've been carrying around, but I put on 8-10 pounds of muscle. So net, I've lost about 5 pounds.
Good 6 months.
I've gone from a 215 back squat that looked like crap to a 285, pretty solid. I still got a lot of work to do. I'm a little forward on my toes and blah, 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 but I'm clearly getting stronger. But more importantly, my Fran went from 745 and I puked in the back to a 418, and I'm doing the barbell at 75 pounds and I'm doing jumping pull-ups. What do you think will happen when I go to do my first pull-up now that I've lost a little bit of weight, but more importantly, I've shifted my body composition from being unfunctional to functional, meaning multi-joint, full range of motion, moves large load, long distances. I see the improvement. I'm getting stronger, I have higher capacity. What do you think might happen when I go to try that pull-up?
You might find yourself getting way higher than you used to 6 months ago.
Right. Pull-ups are a downstream manifestation of those other two things. They are simply a skill that is asking your shoulder to do something it's already designed to do. If I'm dangling below the bar and I'm
down on it.
above the bar.
Yeah.
Look at that. And all I did was make my shoulders do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I lowered them. I'm going to make it even easier. Just bend your elbows.
Yeah.
But if my shoulder does what it's supposed to do by activating the musculature that it's supposed to activate, and I add some stability with better developed musculature around that joint, a pull-up is not hard.
Right.
What makes it hard, from my experience, is we emotionally wrap it up in I can't, I never, I'm not supposed to, it's so hard, I've got to do more work, I've got to do more volume, I've got to get more pull-ups. Guess what you got to do?
More pull-ups. How can I do more pull-ups if I don't have any pull-ups?
Right? Like, no, you just have to do better pull-ups. Like, you just have to pull better.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? That means let the musculature and the joint move the way it's supposed to move, and don't overdo it.
Yeah.
But you need consistency of, wait for it, 3 to 4 times a week, sub-maximal work that facilitates sound mechanics done consistently well, that then layers on progressive intensity.
Boom.
I feel like there's a theme here.
Right.
So what's that look like? 5 to 10 minutes of work at most, maybe even 3 minutes of work, right before work, right before the workout, maybe right after the workout. Banded, ring rows, scat push-ups, scat pull-downs, right? Like all of that stuff that we do in the warm-ups that everybody skips.
Yeah. Or mails in. Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Do your warm-ups better.
Yeah. I remember when we were talking, I think when we first had to close and went online, and maybe it was even like the gymnastics course too, because that was all like right around there. And just like
gymnastics course.
Yeah. And so just like that warm-up is such a great opportunity to get better. Like, it's not just to get you sweaty and tired and for us to get you to do weird things and be like, hey, Jack, I totally got to do that thing today.
No arm burpees.
I mean, if it's like if it's your chance to build strength in this thing. And so I love the pull-up too. I love when you said like the baggage around like getting a pull-up, because
I got it.
The teenagers, they don't have all these years of like, I haven't done a pull-up in forever. And it blows my mind. Like, they'll just come in and try, and a kid will get a pull-up. Yeah. And
everyone's kind of happy for him, but they don't like, it's not like, oh my God.
That's what you told me to do.
Right.
But it's their mind's like, I haven't hung from bar, I haven't done a pull-up. Like, I'm 40. I'm not supposed to do who does pull-ups at 40?
Yeah.
And it's like that, or even like the box jumps. Like, they'll break out a 30-inch box jump. Like, they'll put their box on the 30 and start jumping. I was like, oh, guys, you only have to do 20 today.
Yeah.
But there's no like baggage behind not being able to do it. You can say it's because they're young. And
they have I don't know mind.
Yeah.
They're not encumbered with the bullshit story that we've convinced ourselves is the truth. It's not the truth.
It's not the truth.
Right? It's just the truth you're deciding to believe. Stop believing it. Tell yourself a different story.
Yeah.
It's that easy. Legitimately, it's that easy.
Yeah.
Just tell a different story.
Just tell it.
Guess what'll change? Your truth.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's that simple.
It's
it ain't easy.
It's not easy.
And so this is sort of our compassionate irreverence around
Yeah.
it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
And that's why we fucking celebrate it.
Yeah.
We're not celebrating that you did the pull up. We're celebrating the glimpse of your new reality,
Yeah.
because that's a reality that makes all of us happier.
Because we can say by the time you get to this, like we said, like
Yeah.
this and this
You've
got
done-
you here.
You've done
Look at this whole
all
new
of it.
life you've just kind of created for yourself. That's gonna, like, awesome. You got yourself a pull up, but
Yeah.
like, there's so many things probably going on right now that it's just like,
And that is the ride. That is the ride that I would pay for.
Yeah.
But we get paid for it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But seriously, like, that's what makes this ride worth it.
yeah. So it's like, we don't, like when we say like lose weight, get stronger, pull ups. Yeah, we hear them all the time, blah, blah, blah. But it's like when we hear those at this point now, it's like, you've got a journey ahead of you.
Yeah.
So, and it's like you said, it's not easy. It's simple, but it's you've got to commit and you've
Yeah.
got to.
And this would be, I think, the third part.
Yeah.
How do I change that story?
Yeah.
What's that start with?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to write about this week we're doing a hero wad coming up here
Mhm.
in a week or two on a Monday. And I'm setting the bias here. It's one of the hardest hero wads I think there is. I think it's harder than Murph to actually do it. But Murph was so fun.
Yeah.
And I'd offer to everyone, the reason Murph was so fun is because of the expectation and the mindset that everybody came to it,
Yeah.
and the setting that we facilitated in the gym for it.
Yeah.
When we show up on Monday morning and that hero wad is programmed, people are going to lose their minds because it's a completely different, and I'm stealing this from the psychedelic world, the set and setting are completely different.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm actually writing about. But this isn't that same vein of we just change the intention and the expectation around these things. That's the big move.
Yeah.
That's the real fitness that is changing.
Mhm.
So, all right,
Cool.
man, this was fun. Great setup.
Cool.
Well
Love it.
done. We'll see you losing weight, getting stronger, and we'll see those first pull-ups. We'll all cheer. But deep inside, we'll just say it's because you're moving better.
You're moving better.
So
That's all it is.
yeah, we love you. And
See you
on the
on
creek.
the creek.